I discussed on one or two previous audios about the person who is snobbish and lives a snobbish lifestyle. They think they're better than other people and how they mistreat others. So I'm going to go on the other end of the economic spectrum, and I want to talk about people who are poor. And when I say poor, I'm talking about people who have a poor mindset. Because there's somebody could be poor, but that could be a temporary situation. They could have goals and ambitions to get out of their situation. I'm not talking about them because we've all gone through those times where things were kind of lean. So I'm talking about a person who has a poor mindset, ain't trying to do nothing, ain't trying to be nothing, and they're happy in that. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. But the problem I have with some of those people is they'll turn around and knock the ones that are doing better. And see, all that is a form of jealousy. That's another shade of green. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Let's say that you're in a family and you've got every family has people from different economic backgrounds, but let's just say you have certain people that are from, they're from, meager surroundings. They have very little. They get by to get by, rob Peter to pay Paul. Some of them engage in illegal activity just to maintain their day-to-day, and they're satisfied with that. Okay, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But the thing is that these particular people, when other members of the family who are economically and educationally successful, when they even brought up in conversation, they want to start talking bad about them, calling them nerd and stuck up and everything else. And these could be nice people, because I'm not saying that all people that are educated and well off are snobs, because they're not. A lot of them are very humble. Everybody has their circumstances. But these are the type of people, the people of the poor mindset, they're very bitter towards people that are well off. Very bitter. These are the same people that talk about it's the government's fault. And if you're not familiar with that, you need to listen to my audio about the government, G-U-B-M-I-N-T. You need to listen to that, because I'm sure one of you, one or two people that's like that. Probably fixed income or no income at all. And like I said, their circumstances aren't that optimal. But, they don't care. And they'll sit there and they'll call people nerd, call them Oreo, call them turncoat, call them snobs, call them all kinds of names out of jealousy for the fact that that person has more than they have. And I mean, they'll do it to the level where they'll even get into their business and twist things around. They'll misrepresent them to other people, giving false report. You do all that. Going above and beyond what was necessary. Like when you bring them up in conversation, it's not a general conversation. They've always got to go into this detail about this evil thing or how evil this person is. They're always going above and beyond what's necessary in simple conversation when that person's name is brought up. That's a clear sign that somebody is jealous. When you ask somebody about how a person is, and instead of them saying, oh, well, I talked to them the other day, and only one or two sentences, they go into this huge character assassination about that person every single time that person's name is brought up, and that person hasn't done anything to them. They're jealous. And a lot of these people from the poor mindset, they do that with the people who have education, people who have money. Like I said, not the snobs, but the ones who did well for themselves, put in the work, and they're living well. Well, this is the problem. This is where karma kicks in. Because these will be the same people that'll talk all this shit about that person. But if a situation comes up, let's say the person wants to go back to school and they need some help, all of a sudden they're calling the nerd that they made fun of all this time. Or if they fall on hard times, this happens a lot. Fall on hard times, they need to get somebody out of jail, they need to pay a bill, they're behind in their bills, because if they're working a job, it's a low-paying job, doesn't pay anything. Or they have people in the house that piled up in the house, they're not contributing, and they just let the bills get a little crazy, whatever case may be. But see, these are the same people they were talking shit about. They'll turn around and go to them and ask them for money. See, that's what I'm talking about. And that takes a lot of nerve. And the sad part about it is these people don't even realize what they're doing, because they don't regulate their behavior. They just react. They react from feelings, whatever they feel at the moment. So they don't have any rational thought and don't have sense enough to realize how they're behaving is detrimental to them. They don't even pay attention to the fact that they talk shit about this person, but they'll turn around as soon as they get in a pinch, they want to call somebody. So a few of the smart ones, they'll get wise and they'll be like, you know what? Okay, the next time they call, I'm not going to give them anything. I mean, some of these people are so silly, they'll turn around, they'll get on social media and post pictures and videos about this stuff that they bought with somebody else's money that they claimed that they needed for a bill. I've seen that a lot. I've seen a lot of these girls turn around and get on the phone, call this person and call that person. Same people they talk shit about now. How they need money for rent, need money for child care, need money for the car payment. And not even 48 hours after they get the money, they on Facebook flashing expensive pocketbooks and expensive wigs. These are the type of people that just don't have any type of rational thought at all. They just do what they want to do. They're very hedonistic. And they just don't think. Hence the reason why they are in the financial predicament that they're in. Because in order to be financially stable, that requires a certain amount of planning, discipline, and forethought. And they don't have this. They fly by the seat of their pants. They say whatever they want to say. They do whatever they want to do. So to the people who worked hard for everything that they've got, you just got to be careful who you help. I know you want to help somebody, but you got to check people out. Now, I say this all the time. You got to investigate. Now, how would you feel if you turn around and gave $500 to that niece of yours that needed help paying rent? Now, mind you, now she got a boyfriend living there, got 2-3 kids living there, and probably got a sister or brother living there at all, and ain't none of them could come up with $500. None. All 4 of them, they can't come up with $500. They got to call you. But they've been talking about you behind your back, and you go out of your way to give them that money, and then you find out, and you always find out after you give them the money, that they've really been dogging you out to the rest of the family. How would you feel? Don't be so quick to give away your resources. Before you give away your resources, and I'm not saying not help people. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you got to research the circumstances around the reason why they're helping. Especially if they're all over social media telling their business, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to take their money and do what they say they're going to do with it. You give them about 48 hours, they'll be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter flashing what your $500 bought them. So you got to be careful. Best thing to do is, I know you don't want to do this, just leave them alone. Leave them alone. They're not listening. They're from a negative mindset, negative energy, don't want anything, ain't about anything, and not trying to be anything. So let them be nothing by themselves. You ain't got to go down with them. That's all I got to say about that. Peace.